collaborating with everyone. So, little license bar over there, little box office over that way. If you go through there, that's the proper theatre.
Oh wow, they really have set it up.
Cool. So this is all, they're rehearsing in here. Normally they rehearse on the other side, singing Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses out here.
No.
It's pretty cool. From the point of view of working in a space that is a proper
Yeah,
definitely. It's a whole theatre piece.
You haven't been after these backdrops and stuff yet?
Yeah. So the platform that you're going to use today was a tool that they used to make the fly. So it's a platform on wheels. So it was all kind of set up. I mean, obviously, it's not as little as you want. It's whatever you want, really.
What are you going to be painting?
I'm going to be painting some of my quiet little voices, which kind of freaky, outer worldly characters.
Won't everyone be expecting the eye?
Yeah, they will. That's why I'm doing the
You're
quiet
throwing
little
them.
voices. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of lost in that world at the moment, so it's quite nice to come and do something different. And this surface just lends itself to it.
It's the right kind of
So, like you said, for half the people, they're like, "Oh, don't like this. Not very nice as a service." But for this, it should be perfect.
So I decided to organise KORPFEST 2.1. Just have 5 or 6 artists come in, do a little bit of painting, open the doors to the public, let them come in, have a little look at what's going on, hopefully buy a bit of art, stretch a few artists, give them a bit more of a bigger boards to paint, bigger walls to paint. But as usual, these little tiny ideas, they kind of grow and grow and grow. And before I knew it, I'd invited my dog Size, who'd said, yeah, I will come. And to be fair, he's said that he wanted to be coming to Peterborough for the last 2 or 3 years. So it's been really good to finally be able to nail him down, because he's like one of the hottest street artists in the world at the moment. So to have him painting in the studio in Peterborough was a real coup. He came the day before. I think he had a big gig with Samsung that week. He also had a gig with somebody else that week, so we had to kind of work it around him to make sure that he could come and paint. Following day, we had the main event. We limited it, so usually the paint jams go on for like 5, 6, 7 hours. Sometimes they go on for 2 or 3 days. This time around, we limited it to just 4 hours, so it was really, really condensed. Made it really interesting because we had loads and loads of people through the door, and it was just a fantastic event. I don't think people buy artwork. I think people buy artwork from people. So they need to come and have a conversation with the art. They need to understand what's going on with the artist up here and how that relates to them. Then all of a sudden that artwork means a lot more to them, and it's not just a pretty thing to hang on the wall, but there's actually a bit of narrative behind it. And I think that kind of stuff helps.
I always say that graffiti is the purest of art forms. What we do as street artists has some commerciality to it. It has an appeal, whereas graffiti writers is pure because the only person that they're creating the artwork for are other graffiti writers. You know, people that understand what they're doing, and I think that's really, really pure. It's not my path, it's not my journey, but I get it completely. I love watching other artists work, just standing over their shoulder and seeing how they use the can or they create the caps, and just kind of looking at the process of how, you know, graph writers will do these, you know, do these ghost lines and then build up the background, and then you know, you see photorealistic artists, you see them like someone like Irony just dusting, building up this kind of almost like a watercolour effect of light spray upon light spray. They take two different colours and come up with something which is completely different and create these beautiful. I still absolutely adore watching other people work. I follow three rules in life, right? You work hard, you be nice, and there are no excuses. So whatever I do, I'm always trying to keep those in my head. You know, if I mess up, there are no excuses. I've got to own that mistake, and we all make them. And you know, I work hard, work really, really hard. That's because I love what I'm doing. You've got to be nice to people as well, and I always want to work with an organisation or a gallery, and at the end of it I want them to go, oh, it's a real pleasure to work with you. You know, you did exactly what we wanted to do on time, you turned up, you did, you know, you gave it your all, and for me that's really important. I don't want to do anything half-hearted. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it properly. So I just keep those three things in my head, and everyone says, well, you know, I get a lot of emerging artists come up and go, oh, how do you do it, how do I become a successful artist? And it's just like, it's easy, you just follow those three rules. I followed those three rules, and in 40 years I was able to sell one piece. You know, it's never going to come quickly. You have to accept the fact it's a long, hard slog, and to start with, you've just got to do it for shits and giggles. You've just got to do it because you love doing it. If something comes of it a little bit later on, then that's a bonus, but, you know.
But this is it. I think this is the beauty of a paint jam. The limited amount of time that you get, and the fact that at the end of it, you've got to leave it before you're really ready to leave it. I think for us lot as artists, it teaches us to get ready and to be able to put things on a time scale, but it also kind of leaves you wanting more afterwards. So you kind of get that feeling on the day after where you're on a bit of a downer because you want to be back at the paint jam and you can't wait for the next one in a few months' time to go back to that. So I think it does generate quite a good feeling.